Hey guys, I want to talk to you about giving results. And these are results of a initial examination test for a new patient. So whether that be you're telling them about their range of motion flexibility tests, their bilateral weight scale tests, their nerve scan, thermal or EMG scan, or x-ray findings. The most effective way by far to give results is this: find a way in advance. This is the big deal, is that in advance, find a way to educate the patient about what a normal result would look like and what it would mean. And in advance, find a way to educate them what an abnormal result would look like and what it would mean, so that when they see their results, it can be a self-evaluation or a self-discovery, I call it. So lots of times I'll just give them their x-rays, and so they've seen the x-rays. So then when they go to the doctor's report and they hear about what x-rays are about, they start to implement about that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me during the doctor's report, so that when we do the one-on-one afterwards and we're going through their results, it all ends up pretty self-explanatory. I say to them, so what do you see? And they'll look at an x-ray and there will be two lines on it, and they either line up or they don't. And you don't need to make it any more complicated than that when it comes down to you giving the actual results. See, the more you talk during the results, the more you sound like you're convincing them. The more that they figure out or come up with the answers as they figure out the results, the more likely they are to understand and believe the results. And then, if they've already in advance decided that they have a problem and they understand the results, then they'd be more open to understanding what the solution to that might be. But until they have identified that they actually have a problem that needs solving, they won't ever hear your recommendations for care, or they'll hear it through a filter. So as an example, if I'm going to give somebody a nerve scan, I have to find a way in advance of giving them the nerve scan results, or going over to explaining the nerve scan results, of making sure that they know what normal and abnormal would look like. So that can be done during the report. That's only one way though. Another way that you can do it, and we do this, is through email. So every time that somebody has an x-ray, we'll send them an email before they ever come to a doctor's report that discusses what a normal cervical curve would look like and what that means. If I didn't take x-rays, I would do it with scans. So it would be, today you had an evaluation that included a nerve scan. A normal nerve scan would look like this. An abnormal nerve scan would look like this. Here's the meaning of it. And they may even have in their head, I remember what mine looked like, they saw it on the screen, but you're not talking about that. You're just talking to them about what normal and abnormal would look like. The whole idea is that the sooner in the conversation that they say, that's me, the sooner they're ready to hear what the potential solution is, the sooner they're ready to make a decision about it. If you get to the one-on-one and you find that patient is sort of hemming and hawing about their care, or maybe you don't do a group report and you're just getting to their results, and you feel like, you just know in your heart, you feel like you're trying to convince them about their care, what happens is that you could have found opportunities to tell them in advance. So here's all the ways that we give them opportunities in advance to know about what their results could mean or should mean. First, is during the new patient consultation, right? When you're asking them about, some of the different things, what you want to do is you want to preface, what it is that you're looking for. So it's really simple. Oftentimes I'll just say, when there's pressure on a nerve, that can cause the symptoms that you're talking about. So if you have a subluxation, and we would have already explained to them what that is. If you have a subluxation, then I can help you. And if you don't, then I can't. So right away they know that I'm looking for subluxation, and finding the subluxation means that I can help them. So they lay down, I palpate them, I tell them, you know, where their subluxations are. I kind of say it out to the CA who's in the room. I dictate, you know, subluxation L5 left. But even if the CA isn't there and I'm on my own marking it, I still say it out loud like that. Subluxation L5 left, you know, L1 right, C1 right, Deerfield negative right side. I don't explain what any of those mean, but again, I'm going through and identifying that they have subluxations. So now I started with, if you have subluxation, I can help you, and then I just found them, and then I tell them that I found them, and then we're going to do further tests to identify and measure how much of an effect they're having on the body. So when you're doing a nerve scan, you know, again, you wouldn't describe everything in the nerve scan, just say this is measuring stress and it should be all green. You know, the weigh scales, these should be balanced. So you're not even saying, obviously yours aren't, they see that theirs aren't. Romberg's test, when their eyes are closed and they walk 1 foot in front of the other, they know right away that they're supposed to be able to do that without falling down. So when they start to fall down, that again is a sign. The whole idea is to give them multiple times. So that's the initial exam. Then by email, we send them an email of what a normal x-ray would look like. You can send an email of what a normal nerve scan should look like, etc. Then when they come back, they get some of their results. For me, they go through a doctor's report, but even if you're doing a one-on-one report, the whole idea is before you give any results, find ways to articulate what normal would be, so that the moment that they see their results, they know that they're not normal. I took a long time to get around to that point. I should have started with that. Maybe it should have been the whole thing. That's the whole point, is that they need to know that their results are abnormal the second that they look at it. So you need to have found a way in advance of that to make it simple enough that they could look at it and know that there's a problem, so that you don't have to say, here's a problem. I found it's an amazing way to allow the patient the freedom to make an informed choice. They feel good about being educated enough to make a choice and understand what their condition is. And for me, it's very freeing, because I tell them, well, this is normal, this is abnormal, here's your results. What do you think? Well, I think they're abnormal. Yeah, that's true. And you said if I have subluxation, you can help me? That's true. Would you like help? Yes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay? Find a way to make sure in advance that you're not having to explain all the details during their results visit. All right, guys, I know this is a bit of a longer video, but I can't emphasize enough how important it is to start these people on the right foot. And I just want you to look at your process and see whether or not it fits into, see whether or not it's so logical that a grade 6 person would be able to go through it and figure it all out. All right, guys, thanks a lot. Have an absolutely awesome day.